accused of killing her own two sons walks into court completely cold and emotionless. But the real shock comes from the grieving family staring her down from the gallery. What started as a simple hearing quickly turns into emotional chaos and disturbing accusations of systemic failure. And as this case unfolds, the courtroom tension only gets darker and more heartbreaking.
Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Tiffany Lucas. This is case number 23 CR 404. This is Miss Lucas. Come on, you're Miss Lucas. Come on over here to the podium. The matter is before the court today to review the status of her attorney. What we're doing, ma'am, is just making sure you've made contact with your lawyer. Are you representing her?
Yes, Your Honor. Richard Lonizak with the Department of Public Advocacy Trial Branch on behalf of Ms. Lucas. We would like the opportunity at this time to formally request discovery in the case. We've got no objection to any reciprocal discovery orders.
This is the case of Tiffany Lucas, a 32-year-old mother from Bullitt County, Kentucky, who shocked the nation when she was charged with the fatal shooting of her two young sons, 6-year-old Maurice Baker Jr. and 9-year-old Jaden Howard. The transcript that we're looking at today captures a crucial status hearing where the reality of the tragedy is beginning to set in for the family, while the defendant remains strikingly cold. Let's break down the legal maneuvering and the emotional confrontation that follows.
We would ask the court, we did file a motion in district court to preserve evidence, and we just asked the court to adopt that order.
Okay. All we're here today for is attorney status. If you have specific motions, you need to file those with the court to be heard by the court. Now, if there have been made requests, Commonwealth is certainly on notice at this time for your request. The case was set today to make sure that Ms. Lucas was aware of who her attorney was. You have information to give her so that she knows how to contact you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Case is set for March the 18th at 1 o'clock to set for trial. We'll pass it to that date, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's all for today. Sir, would you write down your name and contact information for the clerk's office?
Yes, Your Honor. I've actually heard that
You've got
here.
a card, that's what it is.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Commonwealth versus Liz.
Does anyone have anything or anyone that wants to go first or anything particular?
No.
Okay. I'll start with you, Bobby. Just
Okay.
Tell me, especially for you making such a long trip here, why is it so important for you to be here, even for something little?
This wasn't just a family showing up for support. This was personal. When Bobby says, "We're going to be here every time," you can hear the pain and anger in her voice. The family wants Tiffany Lucas to face the people devastated by this tragedy every single court date.
Like this?
Because I just wanted to make sure that the state or whoever, they know that the boys have somebody speaking for them. And I want her to see my face every time. I want her to see our face every time she come out that courtroom. We're going to be here.
What does that tell her?
That they have somebody fighting for them.
This is a powerful moment of psychological and legal presence. Under Kentucky's version of Marcy's Law, victims' families have a constitutional right to be present at all proceedings. They're not just there for emotional support. They are a constant visual reminder to the defendant and the court of the human cost of the crime. When Bobby says that she wants Tiffany to quote-unquote see her face, she's engaging in a form of silent testimony. It is a strategic way to reclaim power from a woman who took everything from them. In the legal world, a visible, grieving family in the gallery can subtly influence the vibe of the proceedings, making it much harder for a defense team to humanize the defendant later on.
Michelle, same question for you. Just explain to me why it's so important to be here for even something so little like this.
Just to be there for Reese and his brother and just make sure that, like Bobby said, that she knows that we're here to support him and we've always been there for him. And she knows what she did, so she knows that we're going to be here and make sure that they get the justice that they deserve.
This is how it's always been. We've always been here. She just didn't want it.
Today, I realized when I looked at the calendar. and
It's
looked
2
back,
months.
Today is 2 months exactly. How has your world changed in 2 months, and where do things stand now?
How has it changed? It's changed for me, but how has it changed for my brother? He's there, you know, he's his father. Like I was telling Shelly the other day, if I feel the way I feel, I can only imagine what he feels. I can't imagine that. You know. Again, it was 2 kids. That's not normal. So, yeah. We're all affected. Like, I still cry every day.
Do you think your brother will come, or is it too hard for him?
I think it's too hard for him, really. I really do.
You guys talked about making sure she saw your face every time.
Now the heartbreak is turning into outrage. The family says warning signs were ignored long before this tragedy ever happened. Again and again.
But you've also got to look at her.
I don't care. I want to look at her. She won't give me. I don't know if she's giving Shelly eye contact. She won't. She's not gonna do it.
She saw us today, though, for sure.
Yeah, she saw us.
She did.
Is that hard on you, having to look at her?
No, it's not, because I know that she knows how much I would have been there for little Reese, and how much I was there for him, and what I could have done if she couldn't do it, or, you know, what she took him away from. So I feel like it lets her know that she knows I was there for him and I loved him, you know, more than she did, obviously.
Is there anything else you all want people to know about the boys?
I think everybody that has encountered them in some form or way, they knew how sweet and innocent the boys were. They just were. I'm not just saying that because they were my nephews. They were very sweet. And they're innocent. They're kids. We shouldn't have to be here going through this. They shouldn't have had to go through what they went through at all. And I would feel the same if it was anybody's kids. They didn't deserve it.
Have you gotten any clarification on what happened with the mix-up from the hospital?
No, they haven't. As far as I know, they have not reached out to my brother or my mother or anybody. Not the hospital, not the morgue, not the coroner, not CPS. Nobody.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like
Like they know they did something wrong,
yeah,
obviously.
they know they dropped the ball, and like I told the prosecutor, like my main focus of being here is because CPS failed them once. It's proof. I have proof. Then the morgue, coroner, hospital, whoever, they failed them. I'm not allowing the court system to fail them. She did what she did, and she needs to go to jail. And you already know my opinion on what I would like to see, you know. But it's not fair to them. Again, they were innocent kids. And it should be some kind of protocol with CPS. It should be. Especially when CPS was already involved on more than one occasion. And I've contacted them. Other people have contacted them. They dropped the ball.
At this point, the hearing becomes bigger than just Tiffany Lucas. The family is now openly accusing CPS and the system of completely failing these children. Their anger is raw, emotional, and impossible to ignore inside this courtroom. And those accusations would become one of the most explosive parts of this entire case.
The aunt is highlighting a massive systemic failure here. Child Protective Services. This is more than just venting. It is a direct indictment of the state's failure to protect these boys. In many child fatality cases, so-called failure to protect reports become major legal battlegrounds. The family's claim that CPS, quote-unquote, dropped the ball serves to frame Tiffany Lucas not as a mother who had a sudden, unforeseen, quote-unquote, psychotic break, as her defense would later argue, but as a known danger that the system ignored. Legally, the family setting the stage to show that this wasn't an unavoidable accident, but a tragedy that could have been prevented if the reports that they had filed had been taken seriously.
Anything else y'all want to add about the importance of just being here every time? And this was a really quick appearance. Some of them have taken quite a bit. Just being here for all of them.
I don't care if it's 1 minute. If I can physically be here, I'm going to be here.
One last question for you. You mentioned that you cry every day. When I saw her in court, it's exactly the way she was the last time, which was cold, indifferent, and I don't care. Can you comment on her attitude, or do you know anything about that?
That's exactly how I feel. She just doesn't. I can't even say how I would feel because I would never do that. But it's just cold. It just shows her personality. It just shows it. It shows what we have been saying to CPS all along, and nobody ever did anything. At some point, you have to stand up for the other parent. It's not always the mom. The mom is not always right in some cases.
In the end, Tiffany Lucas pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms in prison. The judge called the killings selfish and evil, rejecting arguments tied to opioid withdrawal and mental health claims. But for the family, the real pain is knowing they believe this tragedy could have been prevented. If this case shocked you too, like, comment, and subscribe for more intense courtroom breakdowns.
On November 22, 2024, this case reached its final, somber conclusion. Tiffany Lucas ultimately discarded her planned insanity defense and entered a so-called open guilty plea to 2 counts of murder, meaning that she accepted her guilt without any negotiated sentence in exchange. During the sentencing hearing, her defense argued that she had suffered a so-called psychotic episode brought on by opioid withdrawal. But Judge Rodney Burris was unmoved. Calling the killings, quote-unquote, selfish and evil, the judge sentenced Lucas to 2 consecutive life terms in prison. Under Kentucky law, while she technically will be eligible for parole after 20 years, the prosecutor has publicly stated that given the nature of the execution-style killings of her 6- and 9-year-old sons, the likelihood of her ever leaving prison is virtually non-existent.